Hi, guys. Welcome out to episode 97 of the Johnson Cast, where today is an exceptionally big show because we are talking about Old Man Johnson's newest brand new release, a song called Spider Bomb. How long has it been since our last release? It's been about a year. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, we released I'm a Sucker for Your Love a year ago.
This is our newest song that's already 14 years old.
That's right. We'll talk about writing process and how long this one took here in just a minute. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and listen to this one. This is off of Spotify. It's available on all streaming platforms. Search for Spider Bomb Old Man Johnson. Here we go from the start, guys.
A tiny little legs, fuzzy little head. Someone give me mine. 40 tiny eyes, creeping up my thighs. Someone give me mine. Building creepy webs, creeping little kids, tiny terrorists. Crawling across my bed, laying fuzzy eggs. What's up with fuzzy eggs? Don't wanna feel up, just wanna kill up. Drop the spider bomb, you wanna sit aside, come on inside. Drop the spider bomb, you made her run fast. I'm packing poison gas. Drop the spider bomb. So you.
All right, so let's stop it right there, guys. That was the intro, verse one, and the first chorus to Spider Bomb. Guys, what are your first impressions about this song now that it's been released here in the final mix? Danny, why don't you go first?
Yeah, this song's a rocker. I love this song. Like we talked about earlier, it's been around for quite a long time, but it's just completely rock and roll to the max. I think I came up with the main riff for this one on my bass, just fooling around in my basement one day, and I brought it to you and Mike. We kind of just started massaging it from there. And I think Jordan, I think you came up with pretty much all the lyrics to it. But I remember you wrote them in your car or something on the way to band practice. And I remember you standing outside your car in front of Mike's house writing lyrics. And I always thought they were just the funniest.
I do remember that one. I remember we decided we were going to get back together. We've been broken up for about 7 years at that point, and we decided to get back together. And I remember writing this one. I remember Danny bringing that riff, and we were down in Mike's studio and just rocking this one hard. And then, yeah, you're right, Danny. I remember sitting in my car and just the lyrics on this one just kind of came. Like this one was an easy one. I am deathly afraid of spiders. So like it was easy for me to write about all the things that I hate about spiders. Let's talk about some of these lyrics. Let's take it back to that first verse and we'll run through a few of these lyrics.
Give me mine. A tiny little legs, fuzzy little head. Someone give me mine. 40 tiny eyes, creeping up my thighs. Someone give me mine.
I love those lines. I love that the first two lines of this song are like enumerated. Uh Great. Now, like eight tiny little legs, fuzzy little heads. Someone give me my spider bomb. 40 tiny eyes creeping up my thighs. Someone give me my spider bomb. I like that. I like that. For some reason, I like that they were like enumerated on those first two lines.
What
That
does
makes
enumerated mean?
I don't know. Actually, I might be using that word wrong. They were numbered.
Oh,
Like the
oh,
line started with numbers.
I
Um,
never noticed. I never really thought about that, but that's cool.
let's listen to the back end of that verse.
Building creepy webs, creeping little kids, tiny terrorists. Crawling across my bed, laying fuzzy eggs. What's up with fuzzy eggs?
Crawling across my bed, laying fuzzy eggs. What's up with fuzzy eggs?
I love how you didn't have to rhyme that next line. Like you just said, "What's up with fuzzy eggs?" and said the same thing. Like,
I'm just like pissed. Like I'm like crawling across my bed, laying fuzzy eggs. What's up with fuzzy eggs? Eggs are not supposed to be fuzzy. They're disgusting. That's gross. And aren't they gross? Like when you find like spider eggs, and if you crush it, little baby spiders come out. What a disgusting thing. I wonder, are we going to have like spider activists out for us on this one?
Doubt it.
Well, it could only help things for us if
I don't think there are spider activists. They
I
don't
hope
exist.
you never know in this day and age.
let's go to let's hit this chorus. This chorus is a banger. Let's listen to that.
Wanna feel love, just wanna kill love. Drop the spider bomb. You want insecticide, then come on inside. Drop the spider bomb. You better run fast. I'm packing poison gas. Drop the spider bomb.
One thing I love about this song is it's on point throughout. Like it's genuinely about the object that is a spider bomb. It's like, you want insecticide? Come on inside. Drop the spider bomb. You better run fast. I'm packing poison gas. Drop the spider bomb. So it's very much on point, very literal, talking about like something you would purchase at the Home Depot.
Hey, Danny,
Right.
you've
Yeah.
you've used a spider bomb. Do you drop it?
No, you're supposed to set it up face up in the middle of the room, which is kind of the dumb thing about it because you have to dart it or you like pull this thing and the gas starts coming out and then you have to go and set it up. So there's no way to get it setting up without getting some on you.
Gross.
I would love to shoot a music video for this one where we're running through a house placing spider bombs, but they have fuses on them, and we light like one fuse and they sizzle out to all the bombs in the house. And then as
Yeah.
we run out of the house, it explodes.
I've been thinking of a lot of different possible video ideas for this song, like a spider that's also a bomb, and like off his tail is the fuse, and it's like the spider's crawling, but the fuse is like getting closer to him.
Speaking of a spider exploding, when I was a kid, there was a huge spider on our front porch, and it was just sitting there, and it was all giant, had a huge butt on it, and it was all gross looking. It was right there on the front porch, and it wouldn't move. Like we walked out, it wasn't moving, it wasn't running. Finally, my dad just goes and he steps on it. Baby spiders go everywhere. It was a pregnant spider full of spiders, and the baby spiders just scatter. It was terrifying. And my dad is just going around stomping on baby spiders.
Gross.
So,
Ew.
I think this song reminds me of a Lego movie song, like Lego Batman. So my vision for a video is a Lego video. Lego video with the song, I think would be perfect.
if anyone out there listening to this Johnson cast is a pro
I
at
know a guy.
Lego animation,
Yes.
do you think he'll
He got
watch
his
this?
degree. He got his degree at the University of Southern California.
In Lego
And
movie cast, in Lego
well,
stop it?
in not in Lego stop animation per se, but in film. And he made tons of Lego animation videos on YouTube.
Wow. I
His
want to
name
see
is
this.
Doug Vandegrift.
I know Doug Vandergriff. Doug Vandergriff, like the thespian?
I don't know if he's a thespian.
Wait, there can't be two Doug Vandergriffs that live in like northern Utah.
Maybe
Is
I'm
he?
saying his last name wrong. It's been a minute since I used to work with
Maybe
him.
they're related. It's
Oh,
probably
okay.
his dad.
Is this Doug Jr.?
Yeah, Doug Vandegrift. That's his name.
I knew a Doug Vandergriff in the theater world, but he was like 30 years older than me when I was like a little kid. He was like, I think he
Huh.
played Scrooge in Scrooge up at the Terrace Plaza Playhouse way back when.
Type in Doug Vandegrift Lego in YouTube, and he's got like hundreds of thousands of views on because he did it before the Lego movies were a happening thing. So he kind of set the bar.
Before we move on, I just want to let you all know this episode of Johnson Cast is sponsored by Doug Vandegrift and his Lego movies on YouTube. Check them
Check
out
him out.
now. Use code Johnson to get 50% off your first Lego movie viewing and off Casper mattresses. This song was written, it was an interesting time for us. We wrote a handful of songs in 2011. We wrote Spider Bomb. We wrote a song that we've just called Malmsteen that I don't know if that one's going to ever see the light of day. I would hope it would. We wrote one called Kibbles and Bits that we have some work on that we're doing. What else did we have during that time?
Evil versus Semi-Evil
Done.
Part 2.
Evil versus Semi-Evil Part 2. I love that one. It's got a bird chirping in it. I love that part
It
when it
does.
chirps.
And
Dime.
Dime.
Spider Bomb, yeah. So Spider Bomb came from those sessions that we were down in Mike's basement, wrote and did all the demos in Mike's basement in the room that Mike's in right now. That
Sick.
room right there is where Spider Bomb was written. And then we tracked with Aaron Hubbard, who engineered it
Mhm.
down at Mike Green's studio in Holiday, I think it was. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And we did it in what, 2 days?
Yeah, something
One
like that.
day. We didn't go down there twice.
Oh, you're right. It was one day. I went
It was
down the
one
day
day.
before and set up drums, and then we just came in and did it all in one day.
And we kept all the drums.
Mhm.
Did we retrack bass or did we keep most of the bass, Danny?
At some point we retracked some bass, but I can't remember what we did.
I think we did on Evil, and I think on Spider Bomb it might be original. I think it's original bass.
I think you might be right.
Because yeah, on the bass there's a DI plus that really, really fuzzy bass tone.
If I remember right, I
Mhm.
think Dime and Evil versus Semi-Evil are almost like done. Maybe just need a remix. But I think all the parts are there on those two, and those ones would be done. So those ones may have had a rework bass, and
Hmm.
then whatever's left, I think may still have original bass stuff on it.
I remember that being a really fun session down there. When we were mixing Spider Bomb, you can hear a lot of that bleed. You can hear Danny's bass bleeding into the microphones on the drum mics and stuff. We were in separate rooms, but I mean, the rooms were right off the main drum tracking room. But that was a fun session. There was a lot of energy.
It was super
Um,
fun. Loved that. Loved being down there. Loved having all those microphones and everything, and it was just cool. It was a fun experience.
did we track to a metronome on that one?
I think we did on all of them, if I remember right. That
But
yeah, I think pretty sure there's a metronome on all of that stuff.
Didn't we go back after that? We tracked it to the metronome, then we went back and kind of made it sound like we didn't track it to a metronome.
No. Well, on the part with the snare drum rolls on this song, I remember Aaron sped it up, the
Oh,
click,
that's right.
and then we had to come back in with the regular tempo again because it
that
speeds up on that one part.
that's a great segue. Let's jump to that part in the song. So this is coming out of the guitar solo and leading into like the
You
end
should
of.
play the guitar solo though,
Did you
because that's
play the
pretty sweet.
guitar? Yeah, that
Okay,
guitar
so
solo is amazing.
we'll do guitar solo into that big drum roll into the bridge, which I don't know, there's lots of fun parts in this song. So here we go from that point.
And it goes right here.
So there is
There's
that.
so much to talk about in that section of music. And the first thing, how did you come up with that guitar part? What were you trying to accomplish with that guitar solo?
On the guitar solo, man, I don't know. I remember when I was recording it though, I was recording it in my living room, watching a Jazz game. It was when, what was his name?
Big Al Jefferson?
Big Al Jefferson. I remember that
Marky.
because I shot like a video of me recording it, and in the background is like the post-game interview of Big Al getting interviewed, and it's like a freeze frame of him going like, "Oh, hello. Welcome to the living room sessions. I'm recording the guitar for a new Old Man Johnson song. With us tonight is Big Al Jefferson, watching us from the end of the game. I haven't finished the post-game wrap-up yet, but I will soon after recording this song." Anyway, so yeah, it was in my living room, and I don't know. I just I wanted something insane. The song feels insane. The song feels like it's everything's coming at you a million miles an hour. And so I wanted that guitar solo to just feel like it just goes off into the ether at 100 miles an hour. So
It kind of feels like it would fit in with like The Darkness, one of their solos.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
With those guitar harmonies, those guitar harmonies are awesome in there and fit so nicely and tastefully.
I think it's a fun solo that builds. I'm happy with the way that like the melody, even before it like ascends, like the little licks come back on themselves over and over. I mean, it's not like a complicated lick or anything, but it's really melodic, and then it just decides to go off into the ether, and it really builds, and does this little squeal at the very top, and then the whole thing comes down to Mike's insane rolls that slowly ramp up in tempo, like Mike was talking about. I remember having that conversation with Aaron Hubbard as he was engineering it. He was almost upset with having to try and figure out how fast it was ramping up as he was mapping out the tempo?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's upset, but yeah, it required some more work for sure to try and make that happen. But I remember he was like, "Yeah, we can speed it up." I'm like, "Okay." So we sped it up right there. Because I think we were just going to maybe drop the click and then start recording again after that section was over. But he's like, "No, I can make a click." So dropped a click in and did it that way.
And it works. It works well, and only Mike Lomax can make it work.
Well, you guys all had to play too.
But I think but the yes, we had to play, but we could go back and punch. You didn't punch. It was one take. And
Mhm.
and it comes off of that, and then it comes down into the halftime in the bridge. Let's just go and jump on this bridge because I think the bridge, I love bridges of songs. They're my favorite parts of songs, and this one cracks me up. Here's the bridge.
And it goes right here.
Do you guys remember Flash, the old Flash Gordon movie from like the 70s where they're riding like jet skis in the sky? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely.
Mm-mm.
And Queen did the music for it. Flash.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Oh yeah.
for some reason those whoo hee haw, that sound is so, it reminds me of that movie in that section of Flash Gordon.
Where did those words come from? I don't remember. I mean, because that's one of the more recent parts of the song that we recorded, but I don't remember how that part happened at all.
I don't either. I remember recording it. We recorded it at Encore Studios.
Yep.
We did the vocals at Encore.
At least that part where we did. "Ooh, ee, ah, ooh."
We didn't do it live though.
I think we did when we played it live. We did at least when we played it at that Clinton City Festival. We did it there.
That's right.
But I can't remember coming up with the idea to do it. That part of the bridge that gets so funky in halftime, it's like the perfect bridge for this song because I mean, it's going so fast, and then all of a sudden it's like give you a taste of funk for a little bit, and it's so awesome.
I'm pretty sure I remember being in a writing session or a rehearsal with you guys, and we got to that section. I vaguely remember Danny out of my left eye going, "Ooh, eh, ah." I remember like we got to that section because that's what we do when you're a three-piece band. And if like the guitarist or in the bass, and like if we're holding down a riff, if you go and play a solo, you lose that riff. That's the one downfall of being in like a three-piece. So I think we always made up for it as a band by our Muppet vocals, doing something to occupy the space melodically that didn't require us to get, another musician in on it. So, Mike, is there any part of the song that you especially love, or the recording of it, the writing of it, playing it live, any part of this song that you remember that like you have fond memories of?
I mean, yeah, that snare drum roll part is fun. I love the drum fills that I was able to do on the bridge section there. Yeah, I love those rolls and the drum fills. On when we were recording this, I set up a pretty big kit, and then I added a little. There's a snare drum right there, and it's a little 5x10 or a 5.5 inch by 10 inch snare drum that I put right next to the rack tom, but I turned the snares off. So it was kind of like a primacy, real high pitched, kind of roto tom or like the rocket toms that he used, the octobans that gave just a really sharp, quick note. And so I had this huge rundown of drums.
You can really hear the use of that snare, that high snare, and those tom fills coming off the intro riff into the first verse. Here it is.
Hey, tiny little legs, fuzzy little.
Is it there?
It might be there.
Here's one more at the very end. Here we go.
Yeah, just that very first. Well, maybe it would be the second note that I would have hit because it's snare and then whatever else I went down. But I think there's some other fills during that bridge, and I used that little kind of poppy snare in there. So that was memorable to me. It was a different kit than I normally use. Made use of the whole kit. I like that. It was pretty cool.
I think this one's fun. It's high octane from the get-go. It just comes in big, doesn't really let up. I love just like the hits, the quarter note snare throughout the verse, and then it allows us to go to like a halftime fill on the chorus, or just like the crazy insane rolls leading up to the halftime fill on the bridge. And so it's just like it's a journey the whole time, but it's just like
There's so many parts across the whole song. That's what makes it really fun and interesting, because the song's only like 3 minutes long, but there's so many parts with the vocal parts, the guitar harmonies, and just all of that stuff that just make it full. There's like so much going on. It's awesome.
I think on this one we didn't give ourselves any constraints. We kind of just said whatever you got, throw it in there. If you got
I remember asking you guys when we were recording, and I was like, what do you guys want? Do you want me to kind of dial it back in? And so I'm like, okay, I need to play less. You're like, no, I want more. I want you to play more and more. I was like, okay. So we went for more.
everything in the song is more. Spider Bomb is
Yeah.
a lot more.
I think one of the cool things about this song is just how, just like you were talking about earlier, is there's always something else happening. It's got many layers of sounds to listen for, and as you listen to it over and over again, you'll hear different things happening that are pretty cool or funny. Or in that bridge section again, there's some pretty funny backup vocals happening that maybe you won't get the first time, but after a few listens, it'll be there. So this is one that I've listened to this song hundreds of times, and I love it every time. So
I agree.
nice work.
Yeah, good job, guys. This is a fun one. If people want to hear it, you guys can listen to it on whatever your favorite streaming platform is. It's available now, and you got to check it out. You can see it barely. You got to check out Danny's original artwork. He drew the cover for this single. It's awesome. You can see it on streaming platforms, or you can go to our Facebook or Instagram page and you can see like a video of Danny actually going through the process of drawing it. It was really cool. We're going to run out of time. That's all we got for this Johnson cast. Do you guys want to end with your classic end Johnson cast sayings, guys? Danny, take it. What's yours?
See you later, Captain.
And Mike, yours?
Bye-bye.
Mine is yippee-ki-yay. All right, we'll see you guys out. We'll see you at the next Johnson cast. We'll see you later, guys.